One of these days, I'm gonna get me a raised microphone. Shaka Nunu. What's up, man? What's up, JC? Go, no, please. Not even close, man. I've not been here that long. Matter of fact, I'm like super inconsistent, so you know. No, Rumble did not kick me off, Sean. So what happened was Rumble is not yet ready for prime time. So one time I tried to schedule a stream 2 days in advance and couldn't do it. So I mean, it wouldn't even let me set the date time. So because of that, I was just like, well, what I'll do is I'll stay over on YouTube for a little bit. If it's something that I can't talk about over here, you know what I mean by that. Like some shit you just can't talk about. As a matter of fact, I got some shit that I can talk about it now because some time has passed. You gotta let niggas calm down before you talk about certain things. But yeah, I got some shit I can talk about right now. I was gonna wait for people to pile in, but yeah, people that fuck with me are probably already here anyway. Everybody else just kind of show up to see if it's gonna be some drama or I'm talking about their best friend or some shit. You know, whatever. So y'all, I mean, this shit just happened, but y'all remember when your boy P Diddy was whooping on a hoe in the hallway? Y'all remember that? Oh, but before I even, what's the volume like? Yeah, Rumble is good to have just in case. Yeah, what's the music volume like? A lot of the bitch. A lot of the bitch about what we are. Man, I had this background music for like 4 years now. Okay, background good. I'm just saying I don't want it to be in the way. Because last time I think people were saying the background music is in the way. So, all right, well, fuck it now, I'll just keep going. So, what y'all saw Puffy whooping on the hoe in the hallway. Now, everybody was fake outraged, and this is gonna go into what I'm saying anyway, along with like the stream title, rebellion and shit. But so Puffy was whooping on the hoe in the hallway. Now, my perspective on this, again, y'all gotta remember, all of the gamed up, supposed to be bitch get niggas in the space or around the space, adjacent to the space, all the people that said they not, man, it's for all that shit. All these dudes supposed to be these above the fray, I know better ass niggas. I've dealt with every type of possible woman that there could be. Nothing can get past me. I'm a real nigga. Blah blah blah. That's all these get pussy niggas. All these, you know, all the gamed up niggas, right? Outraged. Cassie's a victim. Oh my God. Can't believe this nigga was doing that. I bet he wouldn't do that to me. And if somebody said something about it, your boy HJ was over there. Hotep Jesus over there talking about, if you said that in my neighborhood, niggas would be on your top. Or, you know, motherfuckers ready to fight you over saying something like that. You know, all this shit. But again, if you are a gamed up street nigga or this motherfucker with all this experience, street experience, you know motherfucking well, if you try to enact some force, you know, on some bitch defense, you might end up getting killed for some shit. Like, niggas don't really play like that. I don't know where, like, maybe that's some New York shit, because, you know, a lot of them niggas up there are magical and pussy is God to these niggas. They say black woman is God, but what they really mean is pussy is God. So, sure, maybe that shit happens in New York. I don't know. But I do know that where I come from, that shit ain't finna go down like that. You're not finna say some wild shit and then have a nigga go, you can't say that about, and then want to fight you, nigga. You gonna die. But all these gamed up niggas act like where they come from, like they dealt with all this adversity, all these circumstances that made them who they are today. Like this gamed up above the fray ass nigga, but they can't see that in that hallway, that was a hoe getting disciplined by her pimp. That's what that was. That's what you was looking at. And we want to say shit like victim and everybody outraged and shit. Sure, be outraged. Yeah, sure. You should put her hands on her, all this other shit. She couldn't leave. She was scared. Everything you want to say, right? Now, look at it this way. Who did Cassandra leave to get with P Diddy? Anybody know that? Who was she with before P Diddy? Who was she with? Who did she leave to be with this nigga? Who did she bail on? We'll do 5 more seconds. Exactly. Ryan motherfucking Leslie, the producer, right? The nigga who could get her career off the ground. The nigga who actually made songs. I mean, same job as Puffy, but still, he made songs. He wasn't as big, but he was the nigga really on his grind, writing songs for people, making hits for people. If she really wanted to come up on some career level shit, she could have just stayed with that nigga, right? But no, she left for what she leave for? Glitter. She left the nigga who could actually help her to be with a nigga who was already at the top and had less incentive to help her because he had more glitter. And what do you do with that glitter? You concubine the bitch. And she was with it for years. Not only that. Let's just say she stuck because we know what type of woman we dealing with right now, right? This is a hoe. We all know this. When she saw the end coming for this nigga, what she do? She golden parachuted on this nigga. Golden parachute. I'm gonna cash out. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this nigga with not false allegations, but actual allegations. I'm finna bail out and get this bread before this nigga gets sued into brokenness. I'm gonna get mine before he go down. Right? Everybody following me? But all the gamed up niggas ain't talking about this, right? So again, all the time has passed. It's too late for these niggas to talk about it now. It's too fucking late. If anybody want to come in with they fucking commentary on and try to act like they saying the same shit I'm saying, they fucking liars. They done had all the time in the world to do this. So she cashed out at the right time because she knew that she saw the end coming, right? On top of that, let's just say she never got with Puffy. Let's just say she never got with P Diddy, right? She stayed with Ryan Leslie. What do you think we'd be seeing right now? I wager a guess that we would be seeing Ryan Leslie crying on some fucking podcast or talk show about how he got divorce raped by this bitch. Right? Because we know what type of woman we dealing with, right? Right? This is a hoe. So, we'll see Ryan Leslie on a motherfucking talk show like your boy Kel Mitchell when he was on Shannon Sharp shit, talking about how a bitch ran him through the dirt, did him dirty. We be watching this nigga do that. We be watching this nigga tell that story. But nobody sees that. All these gamed up niggas can't see that. A hoe with the wrong nigga tear his motherfucking head off. She'd tear that nigga. She'd have tore that nigga Leslie head off. but she got with the other nigga because she saw more glitter, and she got done just like a hoe's supposed to get done. Sit your ass the fuck down. You want to be famous? Here you go, make a song. Oh, I didn't hit like you wanted to. Too bad. Sit your goof ass down. You see, but victim, and we'll call her a victim. Now, again, if she'd have told Ryan Leslie motherfucking head off after about 10 years, still a victim? Still a victim? Is he a victim? Nah, he should have picked the right one with his goof ass, right? We be shitting on that nigga. He's stupid. He picked the wrong bitch. You should have known that bitch was gonna do this. Couldn't have been me. You see how this shit work? But again, these the niggas that everybody listening to. All these gamed up ass, fake outrage, fake get pussy ass niggas that got all this bitch experience. They done knew what was the right thing to do if I was with Cassie, I'd have did this, I'd have did that. Shut your ass up. You don't know what the fuck you did. You just talking. But the safest thing you can do, is to just, play on the side of the bitch. Even though, all these niggas got these talking points. Even the niggas that don't claim red pill, they still got their complaints, right? The obvious shit. The real obvious shit. Stuff like, bitches be doing this. Wait, duh. That's in public. Everything we can see in public is in public. And if the majority of the hoes doing shit in public, then we see it and then we talk about it. Okay, that's safe. And then you don't even really go in on that. You find some way to twist it on the dude. Well, if dudes wasn't doing this, that's why women doing this. That's why women, cause men. Type shit. But like I'm saying, like you saw a hoe get the treatment, and everybody lost their fucking shit for a few weeks. Regardless of this nigga being a straight up pedovert. Yeah. That nigga probably gone. By the way, why the fuck is this nigga out of jail? But anyway, besides the fact this nigga is not in jail for all the charges he should be on, it's baffling to me how there's all this, just outrage bait and niggas. All the streams I was watching was all bitch focused, on her team. And again, that's cool. It's safe. I just brought it up right now because I just want y'all to, if you haven't thought about it, I just want you to see it. Again, these are the get pussy niggas, remember? These are the experienced niggas, remember? These are the niggas that know better. Gang. Anyway. So, title of the stream. I'm talking about rebellion. Just some shit we've been mulling over for a few weeks. I had a bunch of notes on it, then I lost them, but it's fine. I got most of it. I had most of it written down and have it. So anyway, rebellion is a concept, right? So I'll get to the main point where, how come when people rebel, for the most part, when people rebel, it's always in the direction of fuck shit or convenience. Outside of things like real revolutions, because revolutions are rebellions. For example, the French Revolution. So, a long time ago, France had a king, and they had a monarchy. Now, the monarchy, after a while, after that power has been consolidated for so long, the corruption reaches a boiling point where the monarchy actually start to feel like they're gods among people. And then they start to treat people not like shit, but worse than shit. Like, people don't matter. Because again, they got the ball. That's how you end up with phrases like absolute power corrupts absolutely and all that shit. People need to feel comfortable with the thought that if they had power, they would probably go crazy with it too. Even though I don't believe that everyone would do it. It's just that it's safe to assume that. Very safe to assume that. Because maybe most people would. But anyway, so the monarchy in France was treating their people like shit. And after a while, they decided that needed to change. So that revolution or rebellion started with the rise of a young general named Napoleon. So he basically, what we would call, radicalized a bunch of citizens to basically kill the king and start some new shit up. And that's exactly what they did. They ended the monarchy and started up some new shit that was better for the people. Now, that type of rebellion, of course, right? We're gonna we're gonna look for that type of, like, we would call that a good way to rebel, because you kind of in a choiceless spot, right? If you don't rebel, then you live a life of basically slavery. You're working for scraps, and whatever scraps you do earn gets taxed by the monarchy until you basically have almost nothing. Anything good in your life gets investigated by the nobility, and if they see it and it's something that they don't think that you should have, then they take it from you. So you can't even ascend if you wanted to. You can't even rise. You basically locked into where you are. Worse than that, it's basically you're playing lottery with your life. You can't even you can't even earn I wouldn't even say a decent living. You can't earn a living. You can't do shit. That's no way to live. So of course, that rebellion makes sense, right? Then you got the rebellion of the Russian Empire. And everybody knows this story. I mean, after, right at the end of World War, Russia lost a lot of people and a lot of resources, and the dude who got involved in the fight started to get side-eyed by the citizenry, and then some young upstarts, in the military decided that this was their chance to flip the table, and that's exactly what they did. And once again, it was the same script, radicalized, I'm using quote fingers on that, radicalized the citizenry, and then the citizenry was like, yeah, we need to change because I'm starving. I don't give a fuck what the change is. We just need a change. Weaponized people who were in power at the time with promises that they would have a seat at the table in the new regime. We call those people useful idiots. That's where that term came from. So basically, all of the people that got weaponized or radicalized were in power. They were in the current power of the current regime. So with their help, they were able to influence a bunch of people to do things. But those people can't be trusted in the new regime, because if they would betray their old regime, what do you think they're going to do to the new one if they don't like something, or if they're not at the top of the food chain in the new regime? What do you think they're going to do? So the people who helped, the useful idiots, the people who actually helped to overthrow the former government, those people were killed when the new government was instituted, because you can't have them around. It doesn't make any sense. Sure, they helped you win, and sure, you promised them seats at the table, but realistically, why the fuck would you do that? It doesn't even make sense. So you kill them. So, but that revolution, the only way it differs from the French Revolution is the reason why the people were under turmoil is because they lost a war. They lost a big fight. The French Revolution is a little bit different. It was just gradual corruption until the people in charge just went crazy with power. And the Russian Revolution was more, we threw too much money at this fight and now we can't eat. So you niggas who got involved in the fight gotta go. Both are still revolutions, and the monarchy revolution, the French Revolution, is, you can look at that as like you could probably justify that easily. You could justify that. The Bolshevik Revolution is a little bit more gray. Can you justify it? Of course. So your government got into a fight and they lost, but does that mean change everything up? You're gonna starve because you threw too many resources at it. If you won, then of course you don't rebel because everybody eating good. We just took a bunch of shit. Profit, right? Unless the government just goes ape shit with power and does the same thing the French did. So again, you got two rebellions. One seems more just than the other, right? So let's take those ideas, let's take those concepts and then move them into like something else. So look at let's just say Christianity. A long time ago, I'm not gonna pick on religion, I'm just pointing out something. So there was rebellion among the Christian faith. So Christianity ended up splitting up into three different sects. So there was the Catholic house. I'll just call them houses: Catholicism, the Orthodoxy, and then the Protestants. So those three, those became like this trifecta of Christianity. Now, each one of these each one of these factions had a reasons for splitting off. The Orthodoxy did not like the fact that there was one pope to rule them all. So the Orthodoxy became church full of popes. Now everybody's a pope. They wear the same robes and have the same type of power for the most part. So that's the Orthodoxy, by the way. And then the Protestants are more like, they didn't like the idea of suffering their whole life and then getting rewarded in heaven. That was not what they wanted to do. They want to receive rewards once they died. They wanted their rewards while they were alive. So Protestants are more, I wouldn't say against the original beliefs. It's just more like, why do I have to suffer and die before I receive any reward from God? I should be able to do it now. And then you have the original faith, the Catholic Church, which is as close to the original as you can get. So that's why you have those three factions of Christianity. More, but why go over them? I mean, we got Mormons and shit, which is a derivative of like some chapters in the Bible and shit. So yeah. Anyway, so you got all these rebellions going on, but then it's just a rebellion in concept. So when people don't like things or like the way things are set up or like a system, the way that system is, even if that system is decreed by some magical being or some omnipotent being and people don't like it, they simply don't give a fuck, and then they'll just do something else. And that's how rebellion has worked, throughout the history of civilization. But then if we take that macro concept and then bring it down to just, let's say, the family, like, look at how families rebel. This is what I was talking about at the top, where you have, why is it that when you raise children and once they become of age and they're able to think for themselves, they'll rebel in some type of way? Sometimes they don't. I mean, let's look at some examples. Like, you'll have a business person, right, who has a company. The family can run this company for forever if they wanted to. You just have your kids learn the business and then they can continue making money. And if they are very innovative, they can innovate and make the company even better and bigger and more powerful and get more money. However, unless those families close themselves off from the general population, what happens is their kids rebel and don't do that. They don't continue the business. You end up having to have successors that are outside the family, which is why the further you go back in time, people married in order to keep it in the family, even if the family was not directly related to the father. Because if you married the father's daughter, then, by law, you became the son, and then you get to, consolidate that power that way. But nowadays, and again, and this is because a great man will end up raising a shit kid. But what I've noticed in our society, when we're looking at like rebellion in the family and social norms and shit, rebellion ends up being this situation where it's always in the direction of fuck shit. So if we had, like, on the left side, fuck shit, and then on the right side we had meritorious success, or success where you had to actually work or produce something or invent something or be shit in life, you'll have people who created or did something great, right? And their kids, instead of following in their footsteps, would rather fuck off and do something else. So my question is, why is rebellion always in the direction of fuck shit? Like, some of the fuck shit can actually make you successful, but more often it doesn't. So why is it rarely in the direction of effort-based or meritorious success? You have the examples of a doctor, a lawyer, or, like I said, a businessman. Their children going in the opposite direction of the example that they set by being a successful parent or having two successful parents. Now, remember what I'm saying. So meritorious success is usually rejected by the next generation, unless the success is rejected, unless that success is entertainment based. Okay. So I'll give an example. So you have a business person, like somebody who owns, I don't know, fucking, let's just take the Hiltons, right? So, I forgot his name. Rick Hilton. Was it Rick Hilton? The guy who owns it? Anyway, so he, very successful hospitality chain, conglomerate, mogul. He raises his kids. One of the kids decides that instead of following in the footsteps of his meritorious success, she just puts her pussy on the internet, gets famous that way. Because why bother? Or your girl Rita Ora. She comes from a very affluent family, but rather than follow in the footsteps of that affluent family and do whatever it is that they do to make money, she wants to follow her dream and become a singer and fuck for tracks until she's no longer useful. You get me? It's never like the rebellion is never in the direction. Well, I'm not gonna say never. It's rarely in the direction of some meritorious effort-based success. Like I said, if your parents were a doctor, you'll see the son walking around with a fucking guitar on his back until he's 45. And then he decides he wants to do something. Or not. Or not, because he has a trust fund. So again, this example of rebellion being more rare when the parent is successful is by merit is for the most part true. Now when the parent is a deadbeat, gang affiliated parents, bum ass parents, forever chasing the dream ass niggas, and maybe at one point that dream briefly had potential to become a reality, like music niggas or hoop dreams ass niggas, or high school, sports stars and shit, four touchdowns at poke high ass motherfuckers, that type of shit. So those people tend to have children that will try and follow in their footsteps, even though they failed, and have been like lifelong failures. And then what I've noticed getting older, I realized that success is generally accepted to be based on your ability to acquire an approximation of what successful relationships mean sexually. So if I was I'll summarize, I'll make that more clear. Success in our society is based on your ability to capitalize on sexual opportunity. So if you a get bitch type of nigga, that's successful. This is why a lot of dudes, they would just rather remain broke if they can get away with it and get pussy. Like, they'll do it that way. I'm not mentioning women. It's too easy. Like a broke pretty bitch can fuck anyone. Excuse me, just like a rich pretty girl. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing. So, but when I'm talking about as far as males go, But like I said, it's like when the parent is a deadbeat, it's crazy how they're already on the fuck shit side of the spectrum. So you think because rebellion is a thing that the kid or kids would decide to not do this. Okay, this nigga failed. Why would I want to do that? So you think they might want to go into the direction of like meritorious success because they see that the lottery-based success isn't working. Like, again, walking around with a guitar on your back for the rest of your life really is a lottery shot. It's a moonshot, And again, for the most part, this success with sex and relationships is adequate for most people, because even this small to moderate measure of success, it enables you to facilitate some level of success without becoming successful in a more significantly productive manner, like by producing something. So, and if you can get away with it, if you can moonshot and you see enough moonshots, or you see, I wouldn't say enough, you see enough moonshots to inspire you, which for most people it only takes one. That's enough. So you'll likely take that option because you saw the moonshot work. You know, just like how we was talking about a few years ago, the mouthpiece midget shit. If you see a little nigga, if you see a midget with a bad bitch, anything is possible. You gonna yell like Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. If you see that, yeah, you're gonna think it's possible. So when people rebel, I'll change what I mean. Instead of saying that people rebel in the direction of fuck shit, they rebel in the direction of convenience, which falls in line with behavioral economics, the model of putting effort, time, and money into things that you care about or believe in. You know, even among people who are successful, like I said, who, you know, children of parents who are successful, you know. So again, even among people who are successful, if they're self-made or born into it, you know, if their parents are self-made or born into it, there seems to be a trend of rebellion in regard to what becomes a focus of their behavior and character, and it's always towards the entertainment sector. You know, we adopt like culture norms that are adjacent to the perpetually unsuccessful class, because that's the entertainment class for the most part. Because again, only like maybe 2 to 5% of them become rich and successful, and that's real. You know, the perpetually unsuccessful class becomes the more important class, even more important than the achievement-based class or infrastructure class. So people who actually uphold everything, even those people that make a lot of money upholding everything, they don't get statues and shit. Athletes do. So it becomes more important than the achievement or even the maintenance of that kind of success. You know, anything that's perceived as square, I'll put it that way. If it's perceived as square, it's probably going to be looked down upon, even if there's a lot of success associated with it. And I mean that in money, notoriety, or fame, stature and shit. It would take an extraordinary level of fame and money in order for you to overcome the quote unquote squareness of anything outside of entertainment, i.e., perfect example, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, or Tesla, Elon Musk, or Facebook. And even Facebook, I would say I'm reaching there because, you know, people still shit on your boy. So again, anything that's perceived as square, it's like there's a stigma associated with it. Like, no, fuck that. I don't like that. So it seems like we'd rather spend our lives chasing a lottery model or a luck-based model of success rather than the prospect of earned success. And I suppose it's because we have an obtuse definition of success. And conversely, so check this out. We have an obtuse definition of success, and conversely, we have a narrow focus of success criteria. So let's look at that. So the narrow focus of success criteria, or the obtuseness, is the adoration of a lot of people, money, sexual access. So the adoration of people would be fame, notoriety, status, the money, and sexual access. Basically fame. Or infamy. Infamy counts just as well as fame. And we would rather have that narrow focus of criteria and then at the same time say shit like, well, everyone's successful in their own way. Yeah. You see how does that make sense? Anybody. Can anybody tell me how that makes sense? It's like there's a narrow focus of what success criteria is. You know, again, money, status, fame, blah 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 blah. You know, I'm kind of staying away from the genetic shit right now. You know, the adoration of people, money, and sexual access. You know, fame and infamy. But at the same time, we know what that criteria is, and then we say shit like we make success obtuse and say, well, you can be successful in other ways. This doesn't make any fucking sense. And this is why, and these are like the seeds of rebellion, because when people see things that don't make sense, that's when you sow the seeds of rebellion, because then once people see that, they start doing shit like, well, if this doesn't make sense, what else doesn't make sense? You know, what else doesn't make sense? And then there's a slow build up until enough people don't like the way shit is going, and then you get what you get. You know, this is how we got to where we are now. I mean, think about it. We have world-class surgeons who save people's lives. I mean, I'm talking about people who can like take a heart from a body and put it into somebody whose heart is no longer useful, and they'll stitch them up, and that nigga will live for like 30 more years off of a heart transplant. I would imagine it's one of the most difficult surgeries in the world. Now, people have been doing it for so long. We've gotten so good at this particular surgery that we have people on the waiting list, because that's how successful we are at it. And even when I say successful, it's relative, right? It's not like it's 100% success rate, but it's successful enough that even though people die every day, there's a waiting list for it. Now, mostly because most people don't donate organs when they die. You know, that just is what it is. But even if they did, I'd imagine there would still be a waiting list. You got to match blood types and chromosomes and shit. So have that. But my point is that we've gotten so good at a particular surgery that there is a waiting list. The fact that there is a waiting list shows that this is something that we've gotten good at. Now, the people who perform these surgeries, which literally is like some God level shit where they can extend your lifespan, you know, by all accounts, you were supposed to die. You just cheated death. You had a guy who went to school for 8 years and paid a bunch of fucking money and has loans out the ass to pay it back. This motherfucker just cheated death. He cheated God, or he cheated the devil, whichever direction your ass is gonna go in when you die. You cheated that, and you get to live longer, because without that person, you would be the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And these people that perform this type of work, you don't see statues for these niggas. We build statues for niggas that play with balls, for niggas that shoot balls, kick balls, hit balls, throw balls, catch balls. You understand? Niggas who play with balls get statues, not doctors. There was an old football nigga. You know, y'all might know him. He died recently. They said this old ass nigga was in 2 places at one time, killed his ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend, barehanded with a pair of gloves on. And he got some really smart legal niggas on his team to say, nah, I ain't do that shit. And one of the lawyers that he had a part-time job as a rapper. In fact, he used one of his raps to get the nigga acquitted. The nigga spit bars at the end, closing arguments. Your boy Cochran started spitting bars and said, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. That nigga, and that hit song never made Billboard, but a nigga beat a murder trial because of it. You don't see no statue for this nigga. don't see no statue for this nigga. Again, his bars got a nigga off a murder charge. But where's his statue? Where's his fucking museum? Where's his stuff? This has been a whole new generation. Garrett, ask a nigga under 30 who Johnny Cochran is. They're gonna go, huh? Who? What? Ask a nigga who Shapiro was. Kim K. Num Daddy. Ask. Oh shit. Where's these niggas accolades, yo? They did the impossible. They got a nigga who killed white people allegedly. They got a nigga who allegedly killed white people off of a murder charge, a double homie. Where the fuck is they stuff? How come if you ask a nigga under 30 who they was, everybody gonna go, huh? There's a nigga in the NBA named LeBron James. This nigga has been professionally hooping for 20 plus years. He got about 4 championships. He done been to the finals like 10 fucking. He probably should have been the MVP about 5 or 6 years in a row. He should have been the MVP as a rookie. This is how good this nigga is. Okay? It's hard for this nigga. No. He eclipsed the scoring record, of course, because of longevity, but that's not his fault. Why is it his fault that he took the time to make sure that he don't get fucking hurt forever? It's his fault because he spends money on his body to make sure he don't fucking fall down and break a toe and can't hoop no more. It's his fault because he don't eat too many fucking Cheetos and get fat and can't hold defense. That's his fault. So if he broke the scoring record because he been there long, who gives a fuck? He did it. But anyway, so you got a nigga that's been hooping this long, been really good for this long. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about killing for this long. Old nigga on the court still busting ass, averaging 30 and shit. And this nigga, after all these accolades, he having trouble getting past the nigga who before him was busting a bunch of old niggas ass for championships. Got 6 of them off a bunch of over the hill fucking aging 70s and 80s stars before the NBA really came into its own. LeBron had to play against all Michael Jordan clones. Niggas with too much skill, too many hops, too much handle, too many jumpers, too much post up, multiple Jordans on every fucking team. And he dragging a sorry ass squad of YMCA niggas to the finals every year. You feel me? But we're going to remember Jordan forever because he got a statue in Chicago. And I say this, and MJ is probably my favorite player. You give me so, but we built statues for that shit. Now, outside of basketball, these niggas don't do shit. Where's the world-changing shit? Where's the life-extending surgery, my nigga? Where's the fucking high-rise building where you can, house a bunch of people? Where's the tax breaks, my nigga? Where does that affect people? Where does that affect anybody? Who's ever gonna tell the story of their child being able to hang out with their grandpa until the fucking grandchild graduated high school because grandpa got a fucking heart surgery, a heart transplant 20 years ago? Who's gonna have that story about LeBron? No, nobody. Who's gonna have that story about Jordan? Nobody. Niggas barely remember Kobe, and he died what 3-4 years ago. It's so sad. Like where? I'm not laughing at the Kobe situation at all. I'm laughing at the hilariousness of how we distinguish what is important and what's not important in the society. And again, these are what sow the seeds of rebellion. That's why I'm talking about this shit. So okay, like in the space, there's a lot of talk lately, especially in the wider sphere. I've seen anyway from cloud watching, where we start to look at history in a superficially narrow manner to reinforce this male point of view, because we're trying to recapture some self-esteem, right? So we're looking at the male point of view. Sorry, I think that was through in our role in society and how we are reflected. We're looking at this through things like chivalry or the chivalric era. We romanticize the efforts of the chivalric era. However, if you pay attention to the efforts involved in chivalry, it only mattered when we were in conflict. Think about it. During times of conflict, men were valuable, and the most meritoriously were revered. So you wanted that glory. You wanted to be revered because at the time that was what was getting you what you wanted as measures of success. When we talked about earlier, the adoration of people, money, and sexual access. Back then, it was that in times of conflict. But after the fight is over with, when the conflict is over with, think about this. What you notice, if you go back in history and check this shit out, what you notice that when the fight is over, there's a significant drop in the respect level of the production-centric class, or the courageous class, or the soldier class, and a realignment to the entertainment class. And then I think, should we count that as a rebellion? Is it? Is that rebellion, or is it more like something that underneath is always present, but then is temporarily subdued because of societal circumstances? Is all rebellion this as well? Is it really rebellion, or is it what people want to do anyway, they just can't? What after a while you start thinking what is it? What does rebellion really mean? Are we really rebelling, or are we just doing what we always wanted to do? And my point about that goes to relationship styles nowadays. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, just keep that in mind. What I said is all rebellion actual rebellion, or is it just something that's always present, but it's temporarily subdued because of societal circumstances? Are we conditioned for what people perceive as chaos? Is that our natural condition? And chaos is normal, and we rebel in the direction of what we actually are: hedonistic, instinct-based apex apes with belief systems. 1 second. Sorry about that. So I'll just repeat that. Are we conditioned for what we perceive as chaos? And chaos is basically normal, and then rebellion It's just something that where we rebel in the direction of what we actually are. So it's not really rebellion. We just doing we're just reverting to what we are, which are hedonistic, instinct-based apex apes with belief systems. That's a question. Like, are we doing that? You know, like it's like we seem to have this need to believe things about, like, for instance, parenting and its cumulative effect on your kids in regard to, like, your household, because you hear that a lot. Like, you can only maintain what's in your household, but then we neglect to take account for the seemingly more influential thing in society, which is the peer group, because your peer group ends up becoming the societal generation that rules the world when the previous generation is no longer of age to do shit about it, or when they die. Think about it. The boomers have been in charge since the 60s or 70s or some shit like that. And when they go away, it's going to be the millennials' turn. So whatever the millennials believe in, the Z's can just fuck off, because they won't be able to do anything about it unless they're ready to go to war. But we know that ain't going to happen, because these niggas is all little. They're all little niggas and pussies. I mean, you know, Z's wear fucking booty shorts to basketball games. All their clothes is tight, and everything they wear is pastel colored, multicolored. They dye their hair. They wear barrettes, hoop earrings, nose rings, makeup, tongue rings, tattoos for no reason. They kind of homoerotic. You know, back in the day when niggas hung out, they hung out. These niggas nowadays hang out. Probably with they thing out. Just saying. Anyway, so what if all the good you taught your kids to be in society actually hurts them? Because of, as adults, the society that they are inheriting with their peer group is vastly different than the society that you were raised in. For example, what I just said about the difference between my generation and this one. If they're normalizing gay shit, I mean, I can't, I'm too old to do anything about that. It's their world now. So once that shit is normal, it's normal, right? What do you do about it? You ain't gonna do shit about it, nigga. You too old. You ain't. Who cares? It don't matter if you don't play like that. It don't matter what you think. It ain't your world no more. It's their world. And if them niggas is on that, if them niggas on soft guy era, what you gonna do about it? They gonna inherit the world. It's gonna be their world. You ain't stopping this shit. That's their rebellion. What do you do about it? Why did they rebel in that direction? Why are they doing that? And that's when we get to the meat and potatoes and shit. Why are they doing that? Why are these niggas acting like that? Why are all the dudes acting like bitches? Why? Because what we talked about earlier, success criteria. Bitches become celebrities just by putting a face on the internet. Bitches become celebrities by taking photos with MySpace angles in the fucking bathroom. You know? Bitches become celebrities just by hitting the gym for a few months and getting with a hoop nigga or getting with another goofy celeb nigga like this. So if these are the rules, if these are the rules to success, what do you think is gonna happen? You know, why would men follow women's footsteps? It's not that they follow in women's footsteps. The men are enabling the shit. Men are saying that this is the way to go. This is what it takes, regardless of if you are a male or a man or a woman. This is what it takes to be successful. So it really stops being about gender and more about the fact that if you lay down the rules for success and men want to be successful and then they see what it takes to be successful, the old rules that you live by are probably going to get rebelled on. And they're not going to give a fuck about them old rules either, because you're not giving them anything you're not giving them anything that incentivizes them to work with them old rules. You just telling them that it'll work. You just say shit. Like older niggas, like in my age range and above, we just say shit. We just say shit about how you can still do it this way and still do it that way. Pimping ain't dead, the hoes just scared. Bullshit. Twitter's a pimp. OnlyFans a pimp. LinkedIn's a pimp. You know, YouTube's a pimp. Facebook's a pimp. Anywhere you can meet a bitch, that platform is the pimp. What are you talking about? Pimping ain't dead, the hoes just get. No, that don't make sense. The pimp done went for, the pimp is automated, nigga. So the rebellion comes from the fact that you don't, if you don't get nobody no options, then they end up treating your ass like the monarchy. It's gonna overthrow you. And in this case, they don't need to overthrow you. They just need to wait till you die. You just outlive you. You can't live long. You can't live longer than you want to. Even a heart surgeon can't help you, nigga. Ain't enough transplants in the world to help you through a few more generations of niggas. Shit over with. And what you gonna do with that life anyway? Outside of being a hedonistic monkey. You don't use that new heart to fuck some bitches. Cause now you won't die when your dick get hard. Remember? You can even use the Viagra. Now you won't die. Oh my God. Cause you got a new heart. So you don't give the generation anything to look forward to, and then they rebel. You know? And again, all of this good parenting that people think they're doing, I mean, again, you can teach your kids to be good. You can give your child all the spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and potential or physical tools to adapt and manage their societal environment, and also tell your child that they have the best chance to succeed based on the guidance you gave them. With the trump card, and I'll give you a trump card. The trump card that you yourself is actually successful by the measures that matter, i.e. money, notoriety, accomplishments, character, etc., etc. Even though all of those attributes, well, even if all those attributes are true, and your children can do well to assimilate and kind of achieve those attributes, if those attributes are not cool enough or outside the square shit, instead they it's likely, I'm not saying it's definite, it's likely that they'll reject and consequently rebel against what they view is something that's not for them to pursue. Why? Because of what I said earlier. You're not given, like, sure, you have all the measures of success that matter, but it's not cool enough. It's not going to get them what they want. That was your era. That's what you did to make it. Nowadays, glitter is everywhere. Glitter is on everything, nigga. Bro, we got old niggas dressing like children. Old niggas wearing fucking fitteds and beaters and shit on cam. Niggas still wearing jerseys. Niggas still putting niggas' names on their back with team numbers in their 40s and 50s and 60s and shit. That's crazy to me. Niggas still out here wearing mohawks at 50 years old. You get me? Niggas still wearing Jordans at 50. That type of shit. So again, you give them all these attributes, but then they rebel. You know, let me give you an example. Maybe your daughter can pass the legal bar exam, right, and become an attorney, a competent, well-spoken attorney, one that could actually win cases. But instead, she would rather sell sexualized access to her body on a website. You know, maybe your son can take the family-owned business into becoming the next Amazon and have your family surname be synonymous with some type of household brand for the next few centuries. But instead of doing that, that nigga chases a dream with a guitar on his back or a mic in his hand for the rest of his life. Does that make you a bad parent? Because you gave him everything. You gave him everything, not just money. You gave him everything. Okay? You gave them, again, you gave them all the spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and fucking physical tools. You gave them everything. But your daughter still hit that pole, nigga. She went to school, got her surgery skills up, probably could have been one of the best in the world. But no. I'd rather take a dildo, nigga, on camera. You know, again, and your son. No, I got this ball. I got this mic. I got this ukulele and a fedora and a dream. I'm doing this shit, Dad. It's my life, Dad. You a bad parent? Does the rebellion have a purpose? I mean, think about it. We tell our youth to chase their dreams, make their own future. And we also tell them responsibility matters and integrity matters, and the society you live in grants you the opportunity to even become what you want to become, or even rebel. And you can pursue all of these options, but at the end of the day, it's night. All right, serious. At the end of the day, it becomes a matter of what's it all for? Is it a zero-sum game? You know, does the question I'm asking pose a problem of looking at things, you know, the problem of looking at things outside of our control? Is that a problem? To look at things outside of your control? Even though when I do look at the things outside of our control, I slowly see men bowing down to things that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. Like in a mainstream way. Like the normalization, like I said earlier, the normalization of cucking. But at the same time, you got niggas on some shit where they got a problem with anybody that's not still with the old school get at the bitch on the street corner method of socialization, even though 90-something% of people be buried in their devices or socialization methods that are outdated. Like, for example, I talked about before on a previous stream, the friend circle. The friend circle isn't a viable alternative for get at the bitch. The friend circle is corrupted, my nigga. Why you think people rebelling against the friend circle? Nobody wants a friend circle, bitch. Are you serious? You serious? The friend circle nigga, sure, a woman would want the friend circle nigga because whoever's at the top of the food chain in the friend circle is the viable candidate. But you don't want the friend circle bitch, unless you do, and then you're a cuck. Friend circle bitch is ran thrizzle. You can have it, and she probably don't want your ass anyway, because you ain't the top of the food chain in the friend circle, remember? See what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing shit that, again, I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime, but it's mainstream, this normalization of being a cuck. And then at the same time, people have an issue with, like, niggas who tricking and shit. Well, see niggas, okay, the I can do what I want niggas, right? The niggas with relationship failure in their rearview mirror, but they can win anytime they want to, but they just don't want to. Y'all want to square that circle for me? These are the things that sow rebellion. You get what I'm saying? These are the things that sow rebellion. This is what I'm talking about. When things don't make sense. Because it doesn't make sense. You telling me all the get pussy niggas can win anytime they want to, they just don't want to. And then they come online talking about how much they winning. At what? And then at the same time saying the jig is up. Nigga, it's one or the other. Either the jig is up. Okay, the jig is up and you winning. Got it. So what do you do with all? What you gonna do with all that power, my nigga? You gonna make a change? You gonna do something awesome? Or fuck till the lights go out? Which one? Fuck till the lights go out. Okay, cool. But then you don't get to talk about nothing serious. Ain't nothing serious for you niggas. You just chill out. You got shit. You ain't got nothing profound to say. You ain't got nothing poignant to say. You just talking. You just want to be the coolest nigga in the room to say the same shit. That's what it's coming down to. And that's frustrating. Because over the last 4 years I was streaming, I saw this place go from actually having a modicum of power to niggas getting stars in their eyes and having glitter on their brain and deciding that instead of trying to actually have a message and make a change, they just gonna go for the bag and see if they can grow their channel big enough to get hoes. That's where we at now. So if you want to know why niggas are rebelling, look no further than what I was just talking about. Everything that I just talked about is how you sow the seeds of rebellion. If the things you say, if you say that you're doing things with meaning, or you say that you're doing things with purpose, and at the same time you ridiculing niggas for not being cool enough, or not being bitch get enough, or not being whatever the fuck enough, and then at the same time saying that what they should and shouldn't do, and then at the same time saying, well, it doesn't matter anyway, and then at the same time saying, well, this is how bad it is, and then at the same time saying, well, don't leave the problem even though it's bad, and then at the same time saying, you niggas are good. Like, that's how you sow the seeds of rebellion. This is how it happens. And this is how we get to this issue where nobody can get along. Everybody mad at each other. Everybody got beef with another nigga for some reason. You got niggas online trying to, again, everybody flexing. Everybody flexing. Everybody want to be a motherfucking boss. Everybody posing. You know what working together means? Like when people say working together, bro, somebody got to do what's called taking one for the team. And then at the same time, it's not even taking one for the team. Did you guys know that a long time ago, employer-employee relationships were actually relationships? Did you guys know that in the not so distant past, CEOs did not make a crazy amount of money? They actually made about as much money as their employees. Did you guys know that back when, America was still young? And there was a reason for that, because it's a trade-off. The only way for you to grow your company is to use my skills, nigga. There you go. Unless you can do it all yourself. But now everybody flexing. And it's not just like financial greed. Like we have a different type of greed where we live. We have like a social greed. It's not enough for niggas to be cool. Niggas want to be cool at the expense of everybody else's perceived level of cool. It's not enough to be charismatic, because you can't just be charismatic. Everybody else has to be dweebs. So what does that, if you're a charismatic nigga among dweebs, what does that make you, really, outside of the dweebosphere? And now do you understand why niggas come here to flex? Being the smartest nigga in a room full of dummies doesn't mean anything. Or who you or people you perceive, people you think are dummies. Like you trying to flex and be like, I'm the bossest nigga in a room full of losers. Okay, well, What does that make you? I would never want to be the bossest nigga in a room full of losers. That would make me feel bad. I think that would make any successful motherfucker feel bad if he was the bossest nigga in a room full of losers. That would be crazy. That's some depression level shit. I probably would want to find a roof to jump off of if I knew I spent my life around motherfuckers that wasn't doing shit and I could have done better. But I thought I was at the top. I thought I was at the top of the totem pole. Nigga, you crazy. So anyway, I've been going on for about an hour. I think that should about do it. Let me know if y'all want to talk about it. I mean, I actually think this is a good topic, but I mean, I don't know. I usually, you know how my panels get, man. Most of the time, I don't really get people that want to come up and actually have a conversation about this shit, except for like the regulars, like people I know. But outside of that, like new people don't really. So you don't have to come up here if you're just gonna be panel furniture and shit. But if you do want to talk about it, let me know. Outside of that, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, hold on. Oh, goddamn. I don't want to fuck. Damn. Okay, I was going to end on a good note. I'm going to still end on a good note. But I got to get this off. I should have remembered this at the beginning of the stream. I was talking about that puffy shit. Yo. Do y'all watch the Hamp Show, right? Y'all got it. I know y'all watch the Hamp Show. Fuck that. I know niggas watch the Hamp Show. Do y'all remember? It was just like last week, wasn't it? Tony Snow. Do I believe OJ was good? No. Listen, when I was talking about that, I'm talking about it in reference to what it was. I don't believe OJ was guilty. Let me put it this way. You heard the sarcasm in my voice. I mean, I'm pretty sure you heard how sarcastically I said this nigga was in two places at one time and managed to kill his ex and her boyfriend. Right? Like, how does that make... How the fuck can he be in two places at one time? Somebody please let me know. This nigga beat the fuck out of a dude who was a black belt in some form of kung fu. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, okay. Anyway, no. So no, I do not believe OJ was guilty of that shit. I believe he was stupid. He probably hired somebody to do it. I'm pretty sure. I believe that he may have allegedly, possibly, probably, maybe hired somebody to do it, but I don't think he did it. So I'll put it that way. Anyway, the Hamp, right? The Hamp Show. Yo, again, I like this nigga, man. I like the way he actually moderates his panels and shit. It's awesome. So GA Boy hops up there. And this is, and I just want y'all to just kind of look at this for a second. So they were discussing like male prison shit, like the prison population. Oh, and before I get to GA Boy, so they were discussing the prison population, right? And they were going over the statistics. Oh my God, this is what I mean by niggas, right? So they got a fucking literal math nigga on the panel, and the prison statistics that they are going over. It says the prison population, okay? The prison population is 32% black, 31% white. Prison population, okay? So I'll give the panel a break on this because sometimes when you're reading stats, sometimes maybe the wording isn't as clear, or maybe, and then people hopping over each other trying to get they fucking points off before somebody else does it, because you know how niggas are. Everything's a competition, so you can give us some grace on that. So maybe the statistical messaging got kind of sidetracked, but they were discussing the prison population. So if you take, let's just say there's 1 million prisoners in prison, and 32% of them are black, and 31% of them are white. Okay, cool. The problem with the stats is that if black men are 7% of the population, we can't afford to have 320,000 people in prison. White people are a much larger majority. So if they got 100 million people to our 7, 100 million males to our 7, they can afford to lose 310,000 people. They can afford to lose 310,000 men because they just simply have more numbers, attrition. Okay, they can afford to lose them, and it won't matter. In fact, maybe they can afford to lose the motherfuckers. maybe all them niggas, maybe all the white motherfuckers in prison actually gives you a chance to win out here. You get me? Just make some more mixed niggas. You know? So, but the math nigga on the panel did not see exactly what I'm telling y'all right now. This is a math nigga, math teacher. So this is what I mean about niggas wanting to be famous on panels. You just slow the fuck down. You niggas need to. I don't know. I get this new cam up shit to me. It seems like all police shit, but that's just my conspiracy brain at work. I don't give a fuck. I'll never let these niggas see my turtle bear, handsome, good looks. You know, I get all the monster bitches. But so anyway, so GA Boy hops up there and they were talking about like the education situation. So he goes, well, oh, and by the way, I don't hate GA Boy, but you got to point out dumb shit when you see it. So he goes, everybody on the panel was confused, by the way. So he goes, yeah, so the other people are just smarter than us, like white people, Asians, whoever the fuck, right? They study harder than us, and they're just smarter than us, you know? So they were going over the fact that these people also, the other people, they also receive, you know, handouts and things like that to further themselves in education. So he gives an anecdotal example about how he himself went to college and tried to be an engineer, and he couldn't make it because he just didn't have the brain for it or whatever. And so that means that because he couldn't make it, all you niggas can't make it either, because he's going to project from himself out to every nigga alive. If he can't do it, neither can fucking you. However, these people are just smarter than us, except black women. Black women who literally are these in almost the same statistical category as all the other people that are beating black men. No. They're not smarter than us. They just have more opportunity. Just like the other people. They have more opportunity. And they study. But they're not. But they're smarter than us. Black women have the same opportunity in handouts, but they're not smarter than us. So think about that. But he said it in a really nice tone. Soft nigga voice plus. So it didn't sound, but everybody on the panel started getting Scooby-Doo face. Niggas' heads started tilting 45 degrees to the left and right, and motherfuckers was like, hold on, can you repeat what you said? Even the nigga Hemp was like, wait a minute, can you say that again? This nigga had to say it like three, because think about it. If you took away the gender and identity of all these groups and they were just one blanket group with all the same advantages, and you just said group A, B, C, D, and E, and you didn't hear black women at all, he would probably have the position that these people are just simply smarter than niggas, just smarter than black men. Period. They're just better. And he said that out of his mouth. They're just better than us. They're smarter. They're better. Now, but as soon as you put the label on black women who have those same advantages, oh no, not them though. Not them though. The bitch is still dumb. Cause they black. Yo, nigga, if I didn't see like a fucking early adulthood Uncle Ruckus in my brain before he just snapped out. That's what I was thinking. So we all watch this shit, man. Just kind of, again, I urge you guys to just ask questions like a 5-year-old. Ask questions like a 5-year-old. When something doesn't make sense, just go, why? How come this matters and this doesn't, even though they're the same thing? You know, just ask those questions and see what you come up with. And then you'll see how ridiculous people look when they go up on panels trying to get their shit off. You know, this is why I would tell people, just kind of fall the fuck back. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to get out there. No one has to know the fuck you are. In fact, it's worse for you to get out there and say shit and it's wrong or silly and your face is out there. It's actually worse for you, you know. So anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuck out of here. Thank y'all for showing up, man. I appreciate it, and I'll try to stream maybe a bit more often. I got one half of my CCIE out the way, so I've been taking tests, man, trying to up my IT game. So anyway, that's nerd shit. I'm out.